And the crowd you can see is definitely larger, more consistently as you guys have been here the last couple of days. This seems to be a place where sort of like more and more. It was previously a place where kind of like scummy, dangerous people went to, or in this regard. But now it's becoming more and more of an attraction for sort of, in part to see you guys, but also.
Yeah.
Because this seems to be sort of a hub that stands outside of the various houses.
Could you say they now have a reason to go there?
God damn it.
All right. Okay. All right. I'll kill you. At the end.
It was worth it.
No.
No, it wasn't.
Was it though?
Listen,
I imagine
you know what I'm
there's,
gonna do every time you make a pun? This. Get ready for that.
No.
That's
No, because we all suffer. It's against the
You
Geneva
must.
Convention. You can't do that.
I can do whatever I want. I'm the devil.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I imagine there's like groups of people who like try and mimic our garb as well, and like various
yes, they're cosplayers.
We need to start
Yeah,
selling
we have-
jerseys so we can afford training.
Yeah, buy our T-shirt.
Sell autographs, get portraits taken.
Just me and Milo here, or is the whole party here?
If you're
I don't-
looking for just Milo, you can isolate him at some point.
I don't think
during
I'm
the
there.
day.
Milo, can I have a word with you for a moment?
Yes, of course.
So, that gentleman from last night, the one who led us into the desert,
Yes.
he met an untimely end this morning, or perhaps last night, I suppose. Yes. He was hanging at the gates with his eyes removed and his hands smashed and mangled. And he had a sign on him that said, "A deal is a deal." I believe he did he help us in any capacity last night? Did he do something to break the deal?
No, the men you put to sleep, he made them stay asleep.
See,
But they were no threat, though. A man did run off. I thought I scared him away, but perhaps he saw this man.
right. Well, I just thought you should be very careful in whatever terms this entity gives you for your deals. Like, for instance, we should definitely not tell anyone else about what happened, or even discuss it remotely.
Like, I shouldn't be
I
doing this
agree.
now. I actually regret it.
Oh, he said I could probably talk to him about it. It wouldn't make sense if I could.
Yes, I agree. I've told Shirasa, of course. But just not the details, just that the task was completed.
Since I don't know exactly how he worded it, I'm going to assume that
It
that's
is
okay.
probably fine. I believe it is probably fine.
All right.
There's something I
Maybe
wanted
we
to
just-
ask you.
Yes.
While you were unconscious at the camp after, the man, the one who's now dead, he came to me. The task he had to perform was he took the hair and the scalp from the woman. She seemed to get her power from her hair. I don't know.
Mhm.
But he also said that he was to tell me her name. Her name was Averil. He said her parents' names were Aegis and Lore. I don't know these names, but I thought maybe you would. Are they some significance to a house?
I assume they're not like something I would know anything about necessarily. Right, Dennis? Yeah, I didn't think so. It's strange that he would be tasked with telling you their names. That seems very odd.
Sure, they're somewhat important who will likely seek revenge. Seems to be this creature's way. Ah, I thought you might know. You are the smartest man I've met.
Thank you. No, I'm not familiar with them. That's probably someone we're going to meet down the road, and they're probably going to be very angry.
Yes. Yes. I did bury the woman, Avero. I did not, companions.
Ah, they didn't have names.
They all had the same token, so it doesn't matter.
That's right, yeah,
Exactly.
fuck it. Fuck it, they weren't
Fucking
unique.
stormtroopers. Who
Yeah.
cares?
That's right.
They weren't stormtroopers. They actually hit their shots.
They crit
On me,
Yeah.
yes.
regularly.
I'm a red shirt versus
Yeah.
a strong, is that whole concept. Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's just
Even if you miss, you still die.
Mhm.
Yep. Alright, well. If you hear anything, something we should be aware of, but yes, we can't. No details of what we did can be shared. It's probably safest too if we don't tell Colette. I do trust him, but the fewer who know, Tressa, his marking changed. One of the marks went away after it was done. So
So she knows we did something.
she would have known something occurred. Yes.
All right. Well, I just wanted to make you aware that this entity is apparently very specific.
Yes. Well, that is good to know. It was unfortunate for that man. He was almost done.
It's probably one of the reasons why it didn't.
At this point, Thanic sort of appears between the two of you, an arm around each of your necks. Gentlemen, why the long faces? He says,
Oh, we
Come!
were hired to no.
what? Oh!
That didn't
You
happen.
see, Thanic.
He's like,
last
you
night.
too, huh? And he shows he's got it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Everyone's got one.
Everyone
Yeah.
knows Rakshasa something. Yeah.
I needed another reason. I couldn't afford it.
You know what it is.
I traded my soul for it. Why not?
Got a deal.
Me and Kretz are in the same boat. No, it doesn't.
All right.
He's your adoring masses await, and he girls, come, and he plops a girl in each of your laps, and there's sort of people who are talking and all this sort of stuff. This is the usual festivities and shenanigans.
All right.
Yeah, people are asking questions about each of the heads, and all this sort of stuff. People want to know about the hand, what happened to it, and all this sort of stuff. And Thanic is telling different stories every time about what must have happened.
Nice.
I've lost several hands at this point.
Yeah.
I replace it each time with a different inanimate object.
But there's usually something sort of like, he would have left, but his love for the people was so great that he returned, sort of deal.
Mhm.
And people ask if you're a defiler or something, and Thanic always is kind of like, we don't talk about that.
Nice.
Nice.
Definitely working
That's how I
to
would want.
definitely working to feed into your sort of legend. So anyway, who would like to go to their training first, or is there something else you guys want to do? Alright. Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Okay. absolutely. Night falls once more.
Open eyes into an ambush. That'd be great.
You make your way into to the same locale, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the night market, or I mean the elven markets, and it's much the same situation as it was previously. As the lender approaches you. Whenever a big smile curls across his face, adorned in these elaborate silks of varying colors and sashes worn around him. Definitely a chunky man, definitely a very fat for Dark Sun. And a bright white smile on his face. Are you ready?
Yes, as I'll ever be.
Enough. Follow me then. He takes you down several sort of crowded areas and stuff. Leading you into Pradis Outfitters, which as you may recall, there's this place that you guys saw and just decided not to go to. There's a sign hanging by the archway over the door. It has an image painted on it of sort of like a knapsack. There's a guy carrying like a knapsack kind of slung over his shoulder, sort of like, you know, the stick with a little bundle tied to the end of it. And as you enter inside, there's a bunch of traveling supplies and stuff like that. But it's all dark and they're just sort of strange shapes now. And there's kind of like an open air market kind of feel to the inside of this, as it's a fairly large building. But the windows are kind of closed now, so it's very dark. You hear sort of as your companion, the lender, grabs for a lamp and lights it. The lamp sort of illuminates the room, and long shadows are cast across there. And you hear and leaning against the door behind you is, of course, Lady Anika.
Oh snap.
She says, "So, you still have a lot to learn, don't you?"
Well, that is why I'm here.
There's no doubt of that. She continuing to lean back, her hand resting on the blade at her side, sort of thumbing it absent-mindedly. And she says, "So, you want to learn how to get this and that, how to properly supply your poisons. Is that the case?"
Yes.
She nods. And she says, "That's certainly something I could show you." She says, "About this time, next month, maybe a little after, I will meet you." She says, "This city It's about reached its breaking point. There are too many kings sitting here, and not enough room on the throne.
So I've heard.
She says, but the people, you seem to have their hearts. A weapon that is often underestimated.
Yes, my companions and I tend to help the people as much as we can.
And when the blood does start to run the streets, I want the people bleeding from my side. And then she slits his throat. Nope. That doesn't happen. He just froze.
What?
You froze for a second. I didn't hear what you said. If you said anything.
Oh, I didn't say anything. I was considering it for a moment.
Okay.
Well, when the time comes, if you give me ample instructions on how exactly to do that, I'm sure I could make that happen.
She says, the instructions are simple. The people look to you. You and yours can move the crowd. The side the sundered blade falls on, the people will surely back. She says, do you understand?
I understand.
She nods. She says, you still never told me who you serve.
A man named Thanik.
I've heard of this man. He seems to have blown in with the desert winds. Do you know anything of him?
Despite my best efforts, no. I know very little about him. He claims to work for the people, but I have my doubts.
And he is a dangerous man indeed. She says, get the people. She says, what do you know of leading men?
I've led a few scraps in my day.
I was calling in a leader of men as of late. Unfortunately, another house intercepted them. Scalped them. Left them to the waste. She says, I will give you the command that they would hold, and you will lead them for us.
Absolutely.
You want to roll a deception or anything at this point? Or...
I was waiting for you to tell me to.
Well, I was waiting. I mean, I don't know if you're lying or not. I don't know if your
I've
character.
been lying this whole time.
Well, roll me some shit.
Shit.
Not great.
Mm-mm.
I shout from across the world, you can do it!
I actually do have inspiration.
Historically, that is supposed to be something that you use before.
We have this discussion
And
literally
yet, every
session.
time we continue
It's
to use
very...
No, that's fine. I won't use it then. Keep the 11. I die.
Let me see here. Alright.
Or she rolls really poorly as well.
Doubtful.
She nods and she says, "Very well. I will show you." And so, she heads over towards a sort of crate and kicks it open. And you can see there's these various herbs sort of laying about in it. And then she turns and looks at you. And she says, "Let's begin."
No.
Exactly.
Pick your poison.
And then that transpires. So congratulations, you, my friend, have leveled up officially. Does it feel good?
It was great. Look at how much health I got.
Yeah, I'm not rolling this time. I'm taking the guaranteed value.
Well,
I keep forgetting that that's an option, and I just
Yep.
roll every time.
How do we know what the guaranteed value is?
it's half
It's in the
rounded up.
it's half plus 1, I think, is what it is.
But yeah,
Half
congratulations.
of what plus one?
This is how I'm
Half of
level
your hit
4
points. So if you have a
This is
D8,
how it
you
happens.
get 5.
So,
Wait, don't you add your con mod too?
Well, yeah, you still have
all
your con.
0 weapons.
but now is the fun part. So, Faldir, I will say your stats are sufficiently high. You do not gain any cool stuff, but you do get a feat. Which,
Place my hand.
if you now look, you have something added to the journal. Your feats, which you need read, titled "A Madman's Luck."
Love it. I love it already.
It is not the lucky feat, so read it carefully.
Thank God.
If you have any questions, let me know.
I assume this is supposed to be scarred me instead of scared me.
You die instantly.
Ouch.
I'm sorry. I wanted to be clear.
Really?
Yeah.
John?
Really?
Did you? Is that what
Fine.
you wanted?
Here's another R. You happy?
I am actually. I needed it.
Okay.
I was confused for
Let
a
me
minute.
go
I
ahead and-
legitimately
Let me go ahead and
was.
change it a little bit. All right. So your
Yeah, let me
movement
just
speed has been
delete.
slowed by 10.
You don't get a
now,
feat, sorry.
Instead of 5. No, I'll be
Revoke,
nice and
give it to
maintain
Cled.
it. I'll be nice. But fucking.
I love the text. But anyway,
Anyway, but you know, save your bullshit, or I'll kill you, and take away all the things I just gave you. So, who would like to go next? Okay.
I can go next.
Okay. So
So I waddle back over to the House of Blessed Waters.
absolutely. And there, you find Durlo. Yes. But no, there you find your master, if you will, or however you wish to feel about this this gentleman here. But either way, Darlo's like greeting you with a smile as usual, and he approaches you. He spits before you and bows.
I spit and bow.
And he says, Are you ready for your training?
Yes.
Good. He takes you into the back. And sort of by the well, where you can see there is a small sort of patch of clay and a shovel in the ground. He says, do you know what this is?
It's a shovel.
He nods. And he says, this is untilled land. The farmer was hurt in an accident today. He says, Kenk went wild after one of its restraints snapped and the cart tumbled onto him. We are going to visit that man. He leads you over towards a house, a small sort of mud hut, basically. You enter in. There's one room. You can see that there's a child sort of scampering around out back, a little girl, and a woman sort of pacing back and forth while a man lies on a cot sort of in the off to the side of the room. It seems to be largely like a one room sort of situation, fairly small, little hovel. Thank the earth and sky you're here. And she says, please, is there any way you can help? The old man nods, and he says, of course. And he says, this is my pupil, Shrasa. Shrasa, this is Liha. Hello, Shrasa.
I bow. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you as well. Can you help him? Can you help my husband? We'll do what we can. We'll let your husband's body do the rest. He takes you over to the cot as the woman kind of stands in the corner nervously biting her nails. He moves a blanket aside and you can see the sort of ruined chunk of meat on his leg. He says, today I will teach you. What would you do with this wound?
Try and stitch it back together as best I could and then wrap it and hope his body heals the rest.
He nods. Then today we will teach you this. He pulls out a healer's kit. Sort of herbs on it that he sort of grinds in his fist. You can see that his fist is covered in calluses and the like, and he seems to be very strong for his age. But even for a young man, he would be noticeably strong, as he creates sort of almost a fine, not quite a fine powder, but enough shredded chunks in his hands. He prepares the wrapping and the bandages, and he walks you through the process, applying an oil onto them. The man recoils as it burns, kicking his leg up. But be still. Calm your waters, son. As he presses on the man's chest and eases him back down. The whole process seems to take time, but he slowly walks you through it. Finally, he looks to you and he says, "Do you understand what I have just done?"
I think so.
We will continue to train martially through meditation and practice. But every day as the day comes to an end, he says, you are to finish, and then you are to come here. Where Malar, and he gestures to the man, rests. You are to change his bandages, as I have taught you. Do you understand?
I do.
And throughout the weeks, as this occurs, he does, after several days, this man appears to be healed. And you are taken to another man of a similar story, or a gladiator that was battered in some way. And each time you were taught not to use sort of the channeling of waters to heal him, but sort of your own talents and sort of knowledge and such. And thus, you level up.
Dun 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 dun. I'm gonna do the auto thing, not the rolling.
You guys are
Good
wimps.
call.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
that's where I got my feet. It makes sense.
I'm gonna go ahead and give you your feet. And I will tell you, you get the item, that of which is listed here, as I give you the feat Combat Medic. So you go ahead and give yourself that item, the healer's kit listed there.
Is it a thing you can soon do?
Yes. So you can go ahead and change the name of that. Now, Milo and Cled,
That's what's up.
the time has come. You guys are trying to bunch you level up. Anyway, so what do you guys
Nice!
No. That does not happen. Instead, what happens is you guys make your way over towards meeting Porgo, y'all's good old buddy and trainer. He greets you. Right. Well, it's about fucking time you two showed up.
You told us to show up at this time.
He kind of glares at you and then looks at Milo. Not much smarter than the last one I see. Right. He tosses you a sort of practice sword, Cled. That one's yours. And he walks over towards Milo. Come this way. He goes ahead and brings you over to these two posts, Milo. And then calmly, without really mentioning anything, he takes these leather straps that are around each of the posts and ties your legs to each of them, and then your arms as well. He ties them around your wrists before looping the straps over the top of these posts. And he then has this pot that you can see in front of you. And he ties the leather straps to the pot tilts it towards you. It's this big, heavy thing that he tilts towards you, and you can see it's full of water. So he goes, right. See this? This is my fucking water. And this is my fucking pot. Alright?
Yes.
Don't spill a drop. Now lift it. And he commands you to lower your arms so that the pot will be pulled up by the pulleys that he's looped around, the straps around, and you have to lift the water. Yes, exactly. You make this noise. And the pot lifts, and it's not too bad. You're able to handle it. You're a pretty strong guy. As you hold it in place. And he says, right. Now, featherfucker, what's your name? Ked?
Cled.
Right. Fucking whatever. You give a fuck about that one over there?
Yeah.
Alright. Every time you fuck up, he pays a price. And he calls, and he stands up and tosses his whip aside. He says, right, hit me.
Okay. I swing the practice sword at him.
Okay. You just roll, plus your proficiency modifier. So you can just make an attack roll with whatever you've got, and we'll say it's the practice sword.
Okay.
He immediately bats it aside with his palm, sort of stepping aside into you. Definitely a nimble guy. And as he does so, he then follows up with another sort of palm strike to your chest, where his foot wraps around your ankle and pushes you forward, and you fall into the sand. Right. He then heads over towards you, Milo, and he takes a step onto a stool, and he grabs sort of a canteen that he drinks some of the water before spitting it onto the sand, and empties it into your pot, and then he heads on over. The weight now increased. Roll me a strength save, Milo. You struggle, but the weight's still not too bad, and you're able to hold on. And then he heads over back towards the sort of back of the arena and snaps his fingers, calling in a slave. There's a fighter who comes out, sort of covered in sweat, and he gestures towards the sort of canteens that you can see, and he heads over towards you, Milo, and just sort of waits. He says, right, again, hit me. Once more, your attack is deflected. This time, with a firm pop on your wrist, this painful jolt shoots through your arm, and your practice blade falls into the ground. And he nods towards the servant. The servant takes some water and continues to pour it down into the pot. The weight increases. Milo, roll me a strength save.
Can I get angry about this and rage a little bit for it?
Yes.
I get a little angry, and I rage a lot.
Okay. Yeah, and you're able to lift it some more. He heads back over to you, Cled, and he says, "Come on, feather fucker! I said hit me!" Finally, you're able to maneuver your practice sword around before getting a hard thunk into the one-armed man's side. He grunts, "That's better." And he nods towards the man, and the man goes ahead and grabs a whip and just stands next to Milo. Now, I want you to trick me.
To trip him or trick him?
Trip.
Both.
Trip?
He kills
Just attack roll?
immediately. Yes.
Okay.
It's like a trip attack. Once again, he knocks the blade aside, sort of standing back from you. He nods towards the servant, who then... a loud crack as a lash comes across your chest, Milo, struggling to hold it up. You can feel the leather thongs digging into your wrists now. And he says, again! This time you land a hard thunk into his thigh. Go ahead and roll me a strength. You can roll me an athletics check, I believe it is. It's whatever the trip attack is, I forget.
Okay.
I guess he should technically roll, but yeah. You try to swing out from under him, but he's a little too strong. He holds it back and is able to keep his balance. Alright. Your footing's all off. You're just swinging like a maniac. Let me show you what you need to do. Milo, there's this sort of painful process of instruction while you're holding up this water. Sweat sort of pouring down your face as the water kind of swings back and forth in this pot. Occasionally, whenever a misstep is made by Kled, another whip cuts across your chest. Finally, he heads on over towards you, Milo, and he says, right, tell me, do you think he can trip me now?
Yes, you can.
Alright.
Do it, Cled.
And he turns. Alright, Birdman. Go.
Standard attack?
Yes. Once again, you succeed in landing a hard blow. Roll me another athletics check. And this time, finally, your companion loses his feet, and Porgo falls into the sand. There's a poof. It kicks up. And then Porgo, using his one arm, brings himself to his feet. Better. And he, walks on over towards you, Milo. Can you hold?
Yes!
Roll me a strength check. You can use your
I'm ready.
rage if you'd like.
I am definitely raging.
Yep.
Super mad!
Yeah, and as you pull hard onto it, one of the handles off of the pot tears open, and the pot begins to swing downward, and water sprays onto you, and Porgo. And he looks up, and then he looks at you. Well done, Scrum. Well done. Well done, Mutt. And he slaps you on the side of your shoulder. And then, you're both allowed to level up. Congratulations.
Cool.
Hey.
So congratulations.
I'm just gonna take the average. Oh, whoops. That's not what I wanted to click.
Very good, everybody.
Hey. Y'all did the things.
You did all of them. So let me see here.
Oh yeah, you might get some cool stuff now, Mike, because your stats are bad.
Yeah, but I don't know well enough.
Maybe.
So
Yeah, I need to figure out my character first. Or show Dennis that I have it down first.
So Milo, you get Mind of Brick, Body of Brick.
Yeah!
That's cool.
Congratulations.
Nice.
So yeah, so Kled, you don't get anything. because your
Not yet,
stats-
at least.
Your stats are not really that bad. I will say the next time you guys level up, you'll probably get some ability point
Okay.
modifiers and stuff like that. So,
I have a question. Do we still get like do we get the ability score adjustment
Nope.
still? No? Okay.
you get this. I'm gonna space it out so you guys get it later, but like so you always feel like you're getting something when you level up.
Nice.
I want it to feel good.
Woo!
Let me go ahead and take one more check. Let me see if I change my mind. That you
Good
people,
man.
how terrible your shit is. Ah, God, Milo's really
I'm
bad.
still dumb as fuck.
I don't care how dumb you are.
Okay.
You
So
are.
it turns out that body of brick is a good thing. Mind of brick is less good.
Yeah, I would have guessed.
like that's actually not
particularly
like
mindful.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say you guys all get the ability point, except for maybe Faldir. Let me take a look at him real quick. Let me look at Faldir. Faldir, I'll say you get 1 point in something. Everyone else gets 2.
So so everybody else gets 2.
Yes.
Party.
Oh yeah.
Milo, you
Cool.
cannot put yours in int. That would
Is
defeat
his
the purpose
intelligence
of.
too high?
That would defeat. No, it would just defeat the purpose of Mind of Brick.
Yeah. Super smart brick. Nah, I mean there's one place for sure.
No problem.
All right.
So, I hope that was a pleasant leveling experience.
Hell yeah.
I would like my rolls to be a bit better. That's my fault.
That's the way it is. So, let's see here. Do you guys, during your training and the like, as it goes from the, let's see here, so we're doing 2 weeks, huh? So it goes all the way over to the 8th of Mist.
Oh, we just missed my birthday.
Well, I was about to say, do you guys do anything from...
The
Yeah.
7th is my birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk about Strauss's family on her birthday.
That's right.
Yeah.
Tell us
Oh
about
yeah. Her
family.
parents come to visit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Brutal.
shit.
No,
Shit.
I presume that does not happen. But,
Good.
yes, Matt. Matt has something to say. I'm curious to know.
That dude's typing.
I want to know.
This is pretty great because my real birthday is next Tuesday, so like all of the birthdays.
There you go.
Damn. Oh, and that's the drink a lot birthday.
All right.
All right.
Goodbye,
Cheers,
friends.
Matt.
Bye, bye,
See
Matt.
you again, Matt.
Well, Matt.
Anyway. Now I can really turn up the beat. I was being nice. Since
Yeah.
Matt
All right. I
here.
was kidding us off. None of you level. You get no static.
You're all dead.
Exactly. You wake up and
taken away.
you wake up and all of you are surrounded by Rakshasa. And they eat your. They don't even kill you. They just take all your skills and they take all your attributes. And now you're just incompetent and bad. Whatever Sean said, that also happens.
We're breaking up
Yeah, that
hard.
was pretty
Yeah.
jarbled.
He failed a language roll.
I said, do I get to keep my slime?
No, they take that too. They take it and drink it in front of you.
Yeah, they drink it in front of you.
Doesn't even burn.
Savage.
No, that doesn't happen. So, do you guys do anything during this this time frame?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you do?
If we find out, do we
Cha?
know like, Cha? Would Shrasa share with us that it is?
Yes, she
so-
would have obnoxiously mentioned it like many times.
Yeah, guys, I'm letting you know it's my birthday. It's coming.
You waited till like the end of the day.
Milo
By the way,
looks at
it's my
all
birthday.
his
Thanks
bits.
for celebrating.
And says, "What will I get her for her birthday?"
I'm gonna give. I have something for you, Shrasa. And I
Yes, Marlon.
give her the tricle and a grain mabob. Which is
A
probably really old. I bought like 7 of the grain things from that
Mhm.
Desalia festival or whatever
Yeah,
to
it's-
hang up.
Oh,
And I just still have them hanging out in my room.
I'm
so gonna
sure
give
they're
'em-
still good.
probably still good. I don't
It's
know how to.
definitely gone bad, like 100%.
Okay. Okay, I mean, I still.
You basically
yeah, all right,
kept like a
never mind.
donut, like in your.
I don't give you that then. I don't give you that, but I do give you the tricle.
It's covered in ants. And
Yeah.
Do you want ants?
It's my
Yeah.
Johnson.
Give you the tricle. I say, this. I took this. This was the task I had to do. Feel
Thank
should
you,
have-
Milo.
Happy birthday.
Meanwhile, I'm observing. I'm just like, this seems like a specific detail that maybe we shouldn't be sharing in some way. I don't say that, but I'm.
But these things don't
a
occur
jolt
to Milo.
of fear kind of worms its way through you, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like,
Milo's just lying.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's just like,
yeah.
yeah,
I hear that music. The same kind that I've heard
exactly.
several times before.
Yeah,
In the throes of death.
that's right. No, that doesn't
Happy
happen.
birthday.
Um,
I'm glad you're here with us.
My Skype just completely froze.
he said happy birthday, and he's glad you're here with us.
Oh, cool. Everybody's still frozen, but at least I can hear you now.
Okay.
Hey.
Yay, progress.
Okay, so there's sort of a gift giving. Yeah, I will say another point of bonding, since you guys gave each other a sizable gift.
Now I need to find a way to bond with Milo so that we're tied again.
That's right.
Shit.
Pulling ahead.
That's right.
You're lagging behind, buddy.
Yeah. If you get 20, you have to get married. That's the rule. It doesn't.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
one of us. It's a race.
That's it. Exactly. I
You
actually.
have to fight the slime.
Have you guys ever? I guess you guys probably haven't heard the podcast of This is what this is loosely based off of, actually. The podcast Crit Juice. Well, they basically play Dungeons and Dragons, but it's a drinking game. Like every time someone crits, you have to drink, and all this sort of stuff.
Nice.
Every time you roll initiative, you have to drink. Every time you rage as a barbarian, you have to drink, and all this sort of stuff.
I would play that.
Yeah,
I've heard of that, actually. Now that I didn't recognize the name, but now that you mentioned the concept, yeah, I've heard of it. I've never listened to it. But
But they have like early on they met like a princess, and so they had like bonding points with the princess. As the various guys vied for her attention, and one of them just hated her. And so there's in particular two guys who were like in constant contests, and so to make a mechanic, the GM made it like a point system thing. So
Nice.
I like it.
so it's
I like it a lot.
It's like that. Milo is the princess. In this situation.
Yeah. That's all I wanted.
Huh?
That's all I ever wanted.
Anyway, Crit Juice is pretty funny.
Alright.
But anyway, so yeah, so you guys have that little sharing in the tavern or whatever. Crest watching all the time.
Just watching.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Do the rest of you guys do anything in particular? Don't forget to keep track of your age, because now it's cool, because now you guys age. It's very exciting.
so Mike, make sure you keep track of the age of your characters, all of them.
His character had a birthday while he was enslaved.
Cup's birthday was yesterday.
That's right.
It's funny. My characters' birthdays happen like not even 3 days before they're introduced.
That's right.
Like mine was the 10th of Breeze, for example. That
Strange.
just happened.
You see, I had no idea, like, where Mist was in relation to anything else. So,
Yeah, but you can't read, so you wouldn't know.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
It just happens. Things just happen.
Exactly. But yeah, when's your birthday?
Me?
Yeah.
The 7th of
The
Mist.
7th? Okay.
Yeah.
There's no cool astrological events that day.
Oh.
That we know.
Rats.
No, that you know. One rock shots, it eats another, but that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one knows that happens. It's
That happens
just,
basically every day
That's
of Mist.
most days, yeah. Anyway, so is there anything else you guys go do anything else?
No?
Okay.
I don't got any plans or machinations at the moment.
Yeah, Milo I'll spend my 2 ceramic bits to get like whatever drink or sustenance that we'll buy for Shrasa on her birthday. But nothing else.
Hey!
Hey, best buddy.
That's right.
Right.
And I almost forgot, but I didn't. He comes back
Yeah.
with a red Solo cup in slow motion.
like it's like not even close to being half full
No.
though. It's just like a little bit.
Yeah. A sudden breeze whips across his scars, and
That's right. The hair
like
on the heads of my belt
yeah,
flapping in the
like-
breeze.
yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful.
Love and a post-apocalypse.
Mm,
Anyway,
tenderest thing. All right.
but yeah, the 2 weeks pass. Not much has transpired. As it is now the 8th day of Mist. What day of the week is it?
Wait.
Orc.
All right. Hang on. Hang on.
2 weeks have passed
This
since.
is the one thing I'm hopeless at tracking. So
All right.
So wait, 2 weeks in Dark Sun time, not 14 days, right?
Not 14 days.
Okay.
Oh,
I just
right.
wanted to verify because that'll make it really easy.
Yeah.
Because then
It's just
should
Pixie
Pixie
again.
Yes,
right?
that is correct. You guys are,
Yeah, I was going 14 days.
you guys are
I
learning.
was really confused. That was a lot of
Yeah.
math. Okay,
No.
good.
No, it's more than that.
trick question.
It's actually
Yeah.
18 days,
Nice.
but it's exciting all the same, as it is Pixie.
Pixie.
That's right. So, is there anything? So there's nothing you guys want to do?
Nothing in
Nothing you
particular
want to buy?
comes to mind.
No torches? No. No.
yeah, we need.
Tinder?
I mean, we usually go
Tinder.
supply shopping the day.
Well, I have a Tinder box.
That's not the same thing.
I know, but
it's
just
the
That's-
box in which you place Tinder.
Yes.
pointing out what
I
I
mean-
do have.
And I mean, it's not the Tinder really
not
that we
really
lack.
Tinder.
It's the
It's
the
the
thing
wood.
to
It's the
burn.
fuel to burn.
So I have 7 little grain mabobs, and
Okay.
what
You
I've
can burn
kept this
those.
whole time in our room, what I've kept this whole time in our room, are the 3 now berryless wacky bushes that we dug up,
Mhm.
which are nice and dry and perfect as kindling by now.
Okay.
I've been aging them. So, yeah. So to bring it in, assuming this is like the day that we're done training and we're
Yeah.
maybe gonna leave. All right. For the journey to. Wait,
Cled.
it's moving to
Cled.
Cled, but your name's Cled.
Yes, it's very confusing.
It's actually my city.
I don't believe you,
Wow.
even for a moment.
Milo.
Roll
does.
deception check.
That's not how that works.
All of a sudden, Faded King is actually a warlord trait that I can take.
God damn it! You lost.
Cled of Cled.
No,
Glad of glad.
definitely not.
All right. We should. It would be smart to get a pack animal. of some sort.
Yes,
Kitty.
it is a good distance away.
Yeah.
That's it.
There'll be a significant amount of supplies we need to bring, I would imagine.
Again, with any luck, we can just resupply there if they even let us into the city. We do have a lot of concern about that.
We do.
And if they don't let us into the city, should we pick up more supplies to guarantee we can make it back?
Yeah, we should definitely have enough supplies to at least get there and get back in case we can't even get in. They are very xenophobic, is what Thanek was saying.
What does that mean?
It means they don't like people who don't come from their city.
Oh,
That sounds like all Eric Kokra. We're used to that.
Yeah, but these are dwarves.
oh.
So they're short. We kick them.
I am.
If it comes to that, then yes, that will be our solution. But
see.
We'll just have to get there and see.
Yeah.
I'm just playing devil's advocate as worst case scenario. Rakshas's advocate, as some people call it, but I don't
We
know
don't
what
know
that
what
is.
that is. Yeah. No one knows
I've
what you're
just heard
talking
the
about.
phrase from time
What
to
about
time.
Strasza?
That's right.
Yep.
A Rakshasa. No, she's a water. Yeah. She's a water type.
Weak to electric.
Stop.
That's right.
And grass.
All right. Okay.
Let's go get us some silt serpent steaks.
And a creature.
Yes. I assume the stables would be where we buy a beast of burden of sorts.
That is yes, that is a place where you can buy a beast of burden for sure.
Or we could go to Exotic Specimens and get some fucked up thing.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. That's what I want to do.
Just saying.
Or.
Yeah, or hear me out though.
I love the
Yeah, no, it's like, you know,
enthusiasm.
whenever you're,
Oh,
it's like, whenever you were a kid and your parents would take you to, like, the pet store and you'd go to, like, where the fucking reptiles and, like, spiders and shit are,
yeah.
and be like, let's get a goldfish. I don't know if that's happened to anyone else, but that happened to me a lot as a kid.
I just never got a pet, period.
Anyway,
I had a horse, though, so I mean, like, that kind of counts.
that's a pet.
Yeah, I think that
I'm
counts.
gonna say that's
Jesus
a pet.
Pretty
Christ.
sure
Oh,
that counts.
I had a
I
pony.
never had a pet. I just had Mummy and Daddy just kept the stable.
I
never had a pet. I did have a horse, though, so I guess maybe
Yeah,
that counts.
the poor little girl. Oh, I didn't have a pet, just a pony.
I had a pony, though.
Just
Exactly.
a pony.
Yeah, it had a horn on its head, and it's
The worst.
Anyway, so
All right.
so sure.
Oh, we've never been to the. No, we went to the stables once because we wanted to sleep there. I wanted to sleep there.
Yes.
Well, we also went to the stables once because last time we thought, well, 2 times ago we thought we might need a beast of burden of some sort, and it ended up being crazy expensive.
Yeah, and it occurred
yeah.
to us that we will have to feed it.
Yeah, there were like 200 ceramic pieces.
No, there's one that's cheaper. We got. I saw a sheet one time. I made an intelligence.
Yeah, it's called Milo. That's the cheapest one.
No, it's not true.
I mean,
That is true, though.
I mean-
that is the cheapest.
No,
this is not inaccurate.
no. I live my life right now. It says heavily encumbered. The only thing that makes it not is that I have a backpack. But I'm
Yeah,
like,
I was actually. Never mind. I'll ask about it later. Never mind.
yeah. Well, let's head to the stables. Yeah, we're gonna need a shit ton of food, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of money, so it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I contribute everything I have.